I'm Troy Landry, and welcome to Mercury's Cook Your Catch. Today, I went in the swamps in the Chapelay Basin and caught a couple of sacks of fresh Louisiana crawfish. I'm gonna walk y'all through the steps of cooking them up, how we cook them at the Landry family, and a few little secrets I'm gonna share with y'all. So get ready, it's gonna be good. Purging them is when you're just cleaning them. You put water, we're gonna fill these up with water and let them swim around and they spit out the bait. I don't put salt. To me, it's a waste of salt. I tried with and without putting salt and there's no difference. I let them soak for half an hour in water. I change my water. A true purge, if you're gonna sell them to a restaurant as purge crawfish, or if you wanna purge them for your family and you want them cleaned out, you need to purge them for 24 hours. That's a true purge. And you don't put no salt. When you purge them in a water tank for 24 hours, you don't put no salt. We go through them and we take the dead ones out before we cook them. But if you miss one or two after they cook, the tail, instead of being curled up like that, the tail is straight. That tells you he was dead before you cook it. Some people put different things in their crawfish balls. Over here, we like to keep it kind of simple. We put onions and potatoes and corn, throw a few mushrooms in that. You can put celery and you can put anything. Asparagus,
broccoli.
And a little bit of everything. My brother Ricky and his wife makes this and they sell it all over the country. It's very, very good. Once you start using it, you're gonna continue to use it. And you put this, you got some lemon instead of, we don't have fresh lemon, so we put some lemon salt. And we can put this in your dip. That's damn good stuff. Damn good stuff. That's my little brother and his wife make that. And this is, to me, the very important ingredient, one of the most important ingredients in all right here. Cajun chef is the best. It's got an awesome flavor. It's real thick. It's hot sauce, but it's really not that hot.
That flavor.
It has a real good flavor. I put it on potato chips. I love it.
It's time to light the pot.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at all them pretty crawfish and all this stuff here. One of them I wasn't looking at got my little finger.
What we just put in there, can't go wrong. Smell it. Smell that we got enough seasoning in there.
I taught my boys, all of them, how to ball crawfish and catch crawfish, and they argue saying who got the best, but they all learned from their daddy. So
They always call me to cook them whenever they want to have a cookout, so that should tell you something. The water's back up to a rolling boil. We have the seasoning in there.
that's a while you put your seasoning,
Yeah.
10-15 minutes.
So it's done broke down and whatnot, and the water's rolling, so it's time to put the crawfish in and bring them back up to a boil, just like you see it here.
Y'all in?
Yep.
Got them all? All right, now we can crank up the fire a little bit. We got natural gas here, but if you don't have natural gas, you can take a burner similar to that with propane. But if you don't have a propane burner and you want to cook just a little mess, cook them on your stove. Oh, that sounded a lot better. Now that Jacob just turned the fire off, they're all floating. There's no juice inside them. The meat is dry. They were boiling.
But as the water temperature starts to cool down, the meat's gonna shrink and it's gonna pull the juices and flavors in, and you're gonna notice they're gonna start to slowly sink.
If you pulled these crawfish out right now and tried them, they wouldn't have barely any flavor. You'd say, oh, I didn't put enough seasoning. It's gonna take at least 30 minutes, and they're gonna get real juicy, and that's when they're gonna have the best flavor.
Some of them are already starting to sink.
Some of them are already starting to go down.
They're going down slowly.
And after about 30 to 40 minutes, they're all gonna go down.
Even if you have a small pot at home and you're doing it in your backyard, it's the same method. When you turn that fire off, stir them. You can spray it outside the pot with water to cool that water down, but do not pull them out no less than 30 minutes after you turn the fire off.
If you got a little kid that don't like a lot of seasoning, you might want to pull a few out before 30 minutes. You might want to try a few at 15 minutes. They won't be as spicy. You can see they're already slowly starting to go down. You can wet the pot. Some people put ice in it, or you can just stir them. The more you stir them, you take turns. You know, you got 5 or 6 people at a crawfish ball. I stir for 5, 10 minutes. He stir, and they're always moving, and the water's getting cooled down. There's most probably 2 things that you should never do when you're making a ball. Number 1, don't over-salt them. You don't need a lot of salt at all. Number 2, I would say a common mistake that I see a lot of people make is they overcook them. See, soaking is, the longer you leave them soaked, the better they're gonna taste, but boiling them, if you overboil them, 2 to 3 minutes, as soon as your water gets to a good rolling ball, you can tell a joke or something and then turn them off. 2 or 3 minutes max. Look at here. It's been about 35 minutes. All you see is the corn and a few mushrooms. No more crawfish. Crawfish all sank. I tell you, they're full of juice, they're full of flavor, they're ready to get out. Holy smoke! Look at that. God! See this onion? This is bad for your health. I wouldn't eat that. Don't eat that stuff. We're gonna put them in this Yeti ice chest, and Jacob's gonna sprinkle a little bit of hot sauce on them, and then we're gonna steam them for a few minutes.
We just sprinkle a little bit every scoop.
You smell that hot sauce? With that steam from them hot crawfish, you smell it? It's like a smell like you never smelled before, right? You smell that? You know, there's 25 different ways to boil crawfish, and everybody got their own way, but this is our way. This is the way we like it. And we had a restaurant at one time, we'd cook 100 sacks a night of these things, and we never had no complaint. The only time people would complain would be when we'd run out. Ooh, that look good. I'm gonna close that up and shake them up a little bit. And that's gonna steam them. We'll leave them in there for about 10 or 15 minutes. That's why you need a real good ice chest, because if you don't, they warp, they bend in, the lid don't close. We caught them, we cooked them, and now we're gonna enjoy them. We're gonna have a little sample, Jacob and I, while we're waiting on the rest of the family to get here.
Just right.
They good, Jake?
Mm-hmm.
I just like to put a little ketchup in this and a little bit of vinegar. Oh, mais ça c'est bon. Oh, look at these beautiful crawfish. Look at that. Little baby lobsters. C'est bon?
A lot of people peel crawfish different ways. The most common way is just like to pinch the tail all the way down before you break it away from the head. You see all that fat and everything in there. Then you can peel a layer or 2 away from it, makes it easier. And then you go ahead and pinch at the very end of the tail, and it pulls right off. And then you can remove, some people don't like the top, so you can remove the top. Now the way I like to do it is I just pinch it before, pop it off, grab it with my teeth, and as I pinch, I pull the whole thing out. I eat the vein and everything.
You're good, Jake. You did a good job.